because you said that you wanted to review the 5W and 1H, right? The 5W and 1H. Okay, so let's check. Make sure you know them. Okay, so 5W, so that's who, where, when, what, why, and then the 1H is how. Okay, so do you know what these all mean?
who 是谁
And where?
哪里
When?
when 是时间是
什么时候 when?
what
What?
是为什么
那个是 why. What 就是什么 like what is your name? 你的名字是什么？你叫什么名字 right? What 什么
什么
and
why
why
是
是为什么and then how
是
如何或是怎么样，就是so for example how do you go to school? How do you go to school? How would you answer?
我去学校怎么
你怎么去学校 right? How do you go to school? Okay, so how do you go to school? And there are other ones too. 也有其他的，像譬如说，通常 how 是用来像 how are you or how old are you? 你如何老 How old are you? 你几岁 How old are you? Okay, so how or how do you know? How do you know? 你怎么知道 How do you know? Okay, 所以通常是回答说回答是用动词或形容词，跟着动词跟形容词在一起，right? How do you know 是你怎么知道？那所以他是问一个那个动词 know, right? How do you know? 那或者是 How are you? 那个它也是跟那个动词那个 to be 在一起。How old are you? 它是跟一个形容词在一起。How old are you? Okay. All right. So the 5W and 1H, 5Ws and 1H, you can use this to ask questions about the reading, right? So, okay, so let's read this together. Okay, what did Robert say about his summer vacation?
I enjoyed a camp in Lucan.
Wait,
joined.
I joined.
I joined a camp in Lucan this summer. It was great experience.
It was a great.
It was a
great experience. Experience. Okay.
My friends and I studied the history of the old temples. Then we shared stories with visitors and answered their questions about the temples. Maybe I can do the same thing in my hometown.
Maybe I can do the
hometown.
What's this word? Maybe I can
same
do same. Maybe I can do the same thing in my hometown. Town.
The camp lasted for a week. Throughout it, I
through
learned
it，这个是唯一这个 OUTGH 发 U 的字，through it，through it，through，
through it.
through it。
Through it, I learned a lot about the town. My friends and I liked the camp a lot.
Okay. All right. So let's answer questions about, okay, so let's use the 5W and 1H to answer questions about Robert's summer. Okay. So who is talking here?
Who is talking here?
Yeah, who is talking about their summer?
Robert.
Robert. And so who went to the camp?
Robert and his friends.
Okay, Robert and his friends. Okay, good. And where were they?
Lugang.
They were in Lugang. Okay. When were they there? When were they in Lugang?
In summer.
This summer.
In this summer.
So we don't need to say in the summer. We just say this summer. They were in Lugang this summer. Okay.
This summer.
Okay. And what did they do in Lugang?
They share stories with visitors.
Okay, they shared stories with visitors. Okay. What else did they do? So the question is, what did they do? What did they do this summer?
What did they do this summer?
So your answer was they shared stories with visitors. That's one of them. You could say, for example, you could say that they were at a camp. They were at a camp.
Yeah. Oh.
They went to a camp, right? They went to a camp. And they studied the history of the old temples. Okay. They studied the history of old temples. And they shared stories with visitors. And what else did they do?
Answer their questions.
Yeah, answer their questions
about the temples.
About the temples. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And let's see. Why? What question could we ask it with why?
Why?
Let's see if okay. Why did Robert go there? Okay, let me make this bigger. Okay. So who went there? Robert and his friends. Where did Robert go? He went to Lugang. When did Robert go this summer? What did Robert do there? He studied the history of the old temples. He also shared stories with visitors and answered their questions about the temples. Why did Robert go there? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Why did Robert go to Lugang? Why did Robert go to Lugang?
And do the same thing in his hometown.
Yeah, maybe he could do the same thing in his hometown. So, but why was he in Lugang? This one is, I mean, I think this one is a little bit of a trick question. 所以如果我问你他为什么去鹿港 how would you answer that?
他们要学那边的历史。
Okay, yeah, that's one answer. Yeah, that works. So I think they were saying he joined a camp there, which is also a good reason. That's also a good. So he went to Lugang because he went to a camp there. Okay, yeah, yeah. And why did he go to a camp there? Because he wanted to study the history of the old temples. So it all works. Okay, and then how was his summer? How was his summer?
How was his summer? 他的 summer 如何
？Yeah. How was his summer? 你觉得呢？可能说是就是像 How are you 这样子，好吗？你好吗？我们通常How are you 我们会翻你好吗？那所以How was his summer？你可以说他的 summer 好吗？So 你觉得呢？What do you think?
I think it's great.
Yeah. You think he had a good summer? Why do you say that?
He has had learned and camp in Lugang.
He had learned a lot at the camp. Yeah, in Lugang. Okay, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, he learned a lot, and it also says what does the last sentence say?
My friends and I like the camp a lot.
Yeah. So
like,
and then you also have it was a great experience, right? It was a great experience. So you can say, yeah, Robert had a great summer. He had a great experience at the camp, right? He learned a lot about Lugang and they liked the camp. Okay. All right, great. Okay, let's read about Rita.
I visited my uncle in Taiwan with my family.
I visited.
I visited my uncle in Taiwan with my family. We stayed there for 3 days. We took a hot air balloon. Air balloon ride. At first, I was afraid, and I almost cried. Then my mom held my hand. And I felt.
Then my mom
held my hand, and I felt safe. I opened my eyes and looked around. The basket was strong, and the view was wonderful.
Okay, all right. Let's use these 5 W's and 1 H to talk about it. Okay, so who were in the story? Who was Rita talking about? Who went to Taitung? Rita, and who else?
Her family.
And her family. Okay. All right. And where did they go?
When they went to Taitung.
They went to Taitung. When did they go to Taitung?
In summer.
this summer, right? They went to Taiwan this summer.
This summer.
Okay. All right. And what did they do there? What did they do there?
They took a hot air balloon ride.
Yeah, they took a hot air balloon ride. Okay. And why did they go to Taidong?
Why did they go to her uncle in Taidong?
Her uncle lives in Taidong, right? Because her uncle lives in Taidong. You can also say they went to Taidong to visit her uncle. Okay. Yeah, they went to Taidong to visit her uncle. Okay. And how was Rita's summer? How was Rita's summer?
Is great because the view is wonderful.
Okay, so you could say, yeah, you could say she had a good time because the view was wonderful. Yeah, yeah. You can also say at first she was afraid, but then she opened her eyes and looked around and the view was wonderful. Good. Okay, and do you understand both these stories? Should we look at the questions? Okay, all right. Okay, let's look at the reading comprehension questions. Okay. In the reading, here, why don't you read the question?
In the reading, Robert says, maybe I can do the same thing in my hometown. What does the same thing refer to?
What does the same thing refer to? Okay, so let's look at the answers first, right? So what is this question asking? So we have these answers. Go ahead. So 如果我们用练习上次 Miss Lay 讲的那个，把每一个句子、每个答案的那个最重要的字把它圈起来，你觉得 A 的最重要的字是什么？
Visit.
Okay. B 呢？ Live. Okay. Live and work. Okay. And C?
Next time. Join the camp.
Okay. So join the camp, right? Join the camp. Okay. And D?
Share story.
Share stories. Okay. So let's go back to the question. In the reading, Robert says, maybe I can do the same thing in my hometown. What does the same thing refer to? Okay, so we're going to go back to, so we circled the thing and then let's look at back. Maybe I can do the same thing in my hometown. 所以它这个 the same thing 是什么意思？他在讲什么？
可以在他们家的那个城市做像
做什么事情？ What is the same thing?
Share Tell story.
Share stories, right? Share stories and answer questions, right? Share stories and answer questions. 所以你可以像我们刚刚这样子，你先把每一个答案的最重要的圈起来，然后你就再回去看的时候，就很快就找出来是他在讲什么 ，right? Okay. All right. Okay. Let's do the same thing with number 2. Okay. So what's the question say? How did
Rita feel at the end of the hot air balloon ride?
How did Rita feel at the end of the hot air balloon ride? Okay. All right. Okay. So let's do the same thing. What are the most important words in each answer? Okay. What's the most important word? Safe. Okay. What about B?
Afraid.
Afraid. Okay. C.
Terrible.
Terrible. And then D.
Don't like view.
Didn't like the view. Okay.
I didn't.
And okay. And then I think we also should say, okay, the key in the question, okay, how did Rita feel at the end of the hot air balloon ride? 最重要的是什么？有什么字？
End.
At the end. Okay. All right. So then let's go back. Okay. So how did Rita feel at the end of the hot air balloon ride?
Mom held her hand and her felt safe.
She felt safe, right? She felt safe.
And the view was wonderful.
Okay, so the view was wonderful. So if we go back here, okay, 所以你觉得哪一些不可能？
D.
Okay, 所以为什么不是 B? Why isn't B?
D.
Okay, 不可能是 D. Okay, 为什么不可能是 D?
因为她 like the view.
Because she liked the view. The view was wonderful. So it couldn't be D. Okay. All right. And what else? What else could it be? Could it be? 还有可能淘汰什么？
她没有 afraid.
Okay, she was not afraid. Okay. Because she was afraid at first, right? Not at the end. Okay. Did she feel terrible?
Terrible 是可怕吗？
Yeah. 或者是就是如果你 feel terrible 的话，也是很不舒服，也有可能 ，yeah， 也有可能害怕或是不舒服。
不是 C.
Okay, so the answer is A. She felt safe, right? 那这个有一点点，这个 I think this question is a little tricky， 因为在那个故事里面，他没有说 at the end I felt safe. At the end 其实是 the view was wonderful, right? 但是我们都是要选最好的，他可能没有最这个，他可能不是没有我们觉得最好的，但是在这4个当中选这4个当中最好的，那这个4个当中最好的是 she felt safe. Okay. All right. Safe. Good. Okay. All right. Let's try Grandpa's pineapples. Okay.
Grandpa's pineapples.
Okay. Can you read it for me?
Lives in Tainan, so we visit him every month. This summer vacation, my parents, my sister, and I visit him and stayed there for 1 week.
Okay.
We got to.
Yeah. Okay. So 是 visited。刚刚我不知道，我没有听到你有没有 visited。然后这是 vacation。那你如果念得很快的时候，你如果念 vacation，其实也听得懂啦。但是比较慢的时候，你可以看到这个是一个 babysitter，right? Vacation。
Like
Okay.
Vacation.
Yeah. Okay.
We got to Grandpa's place at 12. 12. He welcomed us at the gate. Then we sat down. Then we sat down and had lunch in the living room. Grandpa made lots of dishes for us. He also bought pineapples. My favorite food. Favorite food.
Favorite, right? 因为这个重音在非，所以其他的可以念快一点。My favorite fruit.
Favorite food. We talked a lot with Grandpa.
Laughed.
We enjoyed Grandpa.
Okay, 记得我们有讲过，这个是看起来念起来像 laugh. Laughed.
Laughed.
We talked
with
and laughed.
Grandpa. We enjoyed Grandpa's dishes. Grandpa was very happy. We had a great afternoon together. In the following days, we visited some old temples. Grandpa told us many old stories about the town. On the last day, we had to say goodbye. Grandpa put a basket of pineapples in our car. The sweet smell of the pineapples.
The sweet
smell.
Smell.
The sweet smell of the pineapples went all the way home with us. Grandpa loves us, and we love him too.
Good. Okay, so let's talk about who is this story about? Well, okay, but who does the writer. Okay, it's about the writer and who else?
His grandpa.
And his grandpa. Okay, so the story is about grandpa. Okay, all right. And where did this story take place? Where did the story take place?
Tainan.
In Tainan. Okay, so this story happened in Tainan. Okay, and when did they go to Tainan?
In this summer vacation.
They went to Tainan this summer vacation. Yes. Okay. And who else was there? So you have the writer, you have grandpa, who else?
Writer's parents and sisters.
The writer's parents and sister. That's right. Okay. And why did they go to Tainan? Why did they go to Tainan?
Because his grandpa lives in Tainan.
because his grandpa lives in Tainan. Okay. And what did they do there? What do they do in Tainan?
In lunch in the room.
Okay, they had lunch in the living room. Okay, they had lunch together. Yeah, they had lunch together.
And visited some old temples.
They visited some old temples. Okay.
And eat pineapples.
And they ate pineapples. Yeah, they ate pineapples. Yeah, So they ate grandpa's dishes and they ate pineapples, right? Okay.
Yes.
And they heard many stories from grandpa, right? They heard many stories from grandpa. Okay. All right. And so how was their trip? How was their trip to Tainan?
It was great.
It was great. And why do you say that?
He can eat a lot of pineapples.
Because he could eat a lot of pineapples. Okay. Yeah.
And
right.
he can see his grandpa.
Because he saw his grandpa and he had a lot of, he enjoyed visiting grandpa, right? It said that they enjoyed grandpa's dishes. They talked and laughed with grandpa. They had a great afternoon together, right? They had a great afternoon together. Okay, yeah, so it sounds like they enjoyed their visit. And also it ends on a lovely note, right? Grandpa loves us and we love him too. Yeah. So they enjoy their visit with grandpa. Good. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's answer these questions. So the family, okay, here, why don't you read it?
The family did a lot of things in Tainan. What's the correct order?
What's the correct order? So what's the correct order? What did they do first? And then what did they do next?
They got to grandpa's place and had lunch together.
Okay, so that was the first thing. Okay, so B first. Okay.
First. 所以 B 跟 D 就要删掉。
Okay. And then, so A and C, which one is better?
Stories about the time. A.
Okay, so they visited some old temples, that one? A. Okay, so what's the correct answer?
C.
Okay, C, because it has B, then A, then D, and
then C.
Then C. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so that's good to know. Correct. Okay, 正确的 correct and order. So those are good things to put on your flashcards, put on your note cards. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's do number 2. What might the pineapple stand for in the reading? Okay, 这个比较难一点点。What might the pineapple stand for in the reading? 那 stand for 是可以说是代表。Okay.
为什么 pineapple 要代表？
That's a good question. Let's finish. 你先试试看，你觉得这4个 Let's look at the keywords in all 4, and then you can think which one what you think might be the right answer. Okay, 所以so A, what's the important word?
Graham has dishes.
Okay, dishes. Okay, B,
Old stories.
old stories. C,
Favorite
fruit. Okay, and D,
love for.
okay, love, right? Love. Okay, 所以那 stand for 代表的话，你知道代表的话，它一定不是，它为什么会说代表？它不是真的说，它不是说代表是就是有一点抽象的嘛，对不对？要有一点点抽象性。所以你觉得在这个4个 these 4 answers 哪一个比较抽象？ D. Okay, so grandpa's love for the family. 那我们要确定一下，所以我们再回来找一下。OK， 所以我们看看在最后面有没有。On the last day, we had to say goodbye. Grandpa put a basket of pineapples in our car. The sweet smell of the pineapples went all the way home with us. Grandpa loves us, and we love. 所以在这里你可以看到 love 跟 pineapples 它是在这2个文章中很近，有没有？那个，所以就像 Grandpa 把 a basket of pineapples 给他们带回家，你可以说 Grandpa 把那个爱让他们载回家。
带回家。
So stand for 代表。Okay, stand for.
Miss Lei.
Yes.
我在那个考试的时候也有看到 stand 是摊位的意思。
Oh, right. 所以 stand 如果是OK， 它 stand 有好几个用法，对不对？ Stand 有可能是动词或是名词，对不对？那当它是动词的时候，是站起来，那它也可以是抽象的站起来，譬如说像代表 stand for。OK， 那它当然也可以说是不是抽象，就是就是很实体的站起来，就是 stand up please 那样子的 stand。但是当它是当名词的时候，那个 stand 是那个摊位，是因为那个摊位是站着的嘛。所以那个就是it's a stand， 它那个就是摊位站在那个市集中间，a stand， 所以呢也是那个stand 的名词，可以这样用。OK，